I'm Kevin Franklin, the lead designer on Wargames, and we're going to be looking at some armor abilities and armor mods. Big thing on Halo 4 Wargames, we wanted to make sure you're bringing in your own unique style into the battlefield. And we really looked at it as two halves. There's what you bring into the battlefield, and then there's what you use on the battlefield, what you pick up around the map, what ordnance you call in. So when we built this, we really wanted to make sure everything comboed well together and everything sort of fit together as pieces as this one massive but very carefully balanced sandbox. So right now we're going to look at some armor abilities and jump right into our first loadout here. So you'll see some returning favorites, but also many new ones for Halo 4. The first of which we have highlighted here, is Promethean Vision. Promethean Vision, we really wanted to explore the new Forerunner technology. And we've explored it with weapons. I'm sure you've seen the new incineration cannon and the binary rifle, all sorts of new ways to make your opponents in multiplayer disintegrate. But Promethean Vision lets you find them. And with this, you can fire it out. It'll be like one big wave or pulse that sort of emanates around the battlefield, and it'll help you find your enemies. Thrust Pack. This is a modified version of the jetpack, but it's very directional and a very short burst. So if you can imagine an entire jetpack expulsing in one quick burst in a single direction, that's what it lets you do. It's great for getting out of the way of a grenade, getting that last inch towards an objective or an enemy if you want to melee him, or just in general getting yourself in and out of combat. And then once you use Thrust Pack, you're going to cut to third person, which really gives you an idea of space for the battlefield. You can see that grenade that went off that you missed. And also, it has a big impact as you use it. It's got a pretty short cooldown timer, but you can't just keep thrusting, so it's pretty well balanced that way. The hologram, this is returning from Reach, but we've made several improvements to it. Now it'll show up on enemies' radar as a real hologram. Their reticule will also turn red, so it's much stronger at fooling enemies. And these changes were sort of made to adopt the overall power increase of everything and make it fit within the sandbox. It's a great one if you're just starting out to fool enemies. It's awesome and free-for-all. One of my absolute favorites. Jetpack. This is also returning, but we've rebalanced it to fit with our new movement model in Halo 4. It's awesome in objective games, especially because you can create new routes for yourself to get up on ledges. And a lot of our level design decisions were very carefully taken into account when we wanted to figure out how high you could jetpack and where you could jetpack to. Hard Light Shield, this is another new one. Like the Thrust Pack, it does put you into third person as well. It lets you deflect and defend yourself against incoming attacks. Great for stopping a grenade, or if you're wanting to protect a teammate, if you're going 2-on-1 against a guy, it sort of really mixes up the combat flow. Active camo, as long as you stay still, it keeps you very hard to see and invisible. It's got a pretty long duration. It also has the added bonus of scrambling your enemy's radar. Auto Sentry is all new for Halo 4. It pops up a little turret that lets you defend an area. It's great for objective gameplay. The turret will last a short period of time, and it can also take damage. But once it's destroyed, if you're still alive, you can pop up another one. Regeneration Field. This is probably the biggest teamwork one of all the armor abilities. It's great in objective games as well, especially in Dominion, because you can use it in a base, and it really helps you keep your team alive. It has an added bonus as it'll knock back other enemies that are near it. So it's sort of a combo armor ability. And that's it for new armor abilities in Halo 4. The other things you can do to your Spartan 4 armor, though, is you can customize them with armor mods. And for those, we have tactical packages and support upgrades. There are tons of these that are just all willing to suit your play style, and you'll unlock them through regular progression, but also through specializations. There's quite a few of them, so I'm going to run through them very quickly. Mobility lets you sprint as much as you want around the battlefield. It's my favorite in Dominion or Big Team Battle on the larger maps when I want to keep moving. Shielding, if you've been taking damage, gets you recharged faster. Resupply lets you pick up grenades off of enemies. That's off by default now, so now it's a special ability, so you can be the one throwing more grenades. AA Efficiency, so what this does is your armor abilities that we just ran through, it'll help them regenerate faster. Grenadier, this brings one more grenade of any type you're carrying. We have three grenades now in Halo 4. The new one, which you saw probably today, is the Pulse Grenade, so it works for that too. Firepower lets you carry 2 primaries. Fast Track lets you move up quicker in rank. We've put some special code in there, so it'll only give you extra XP while you're actually using it, so you can't exploit that one. Requisitions, so in Infinity Slayer and other modes with personal ordnance, it lets you earn that ordnance faster, so you can call down your power weapons, power-ups, and all the goodies you get from the Unisea Infinity. Wheelman helps you drive a vehicle, makes your vehicle regenerate a little bit faster, take a little bit less damage, and reduces the EMP blast if players plasma pistol you. That's it for the tactical package. The next are support upgrades. There are 10 tactical packages and 12 support upgrades. Dexterity, this is absolutely by far my favorite because I'm a BR junkie, but it lets you reload and swap your weapons faster. And if you get speed, so if you like speed boost as a power up, gives you sort of that effect. Not as good, but it'll let you keep it the whole time. Ammo brings extra weapons, and also for any ordnance weapons you bring in from the Infinity. So if you love sniping and you call in the sniper, you'll get extra ammo for that too. Sensor, just not crazy, but just a little bit increases your motion tracker range around you, so you get better awareness of enemies. Awareness, this lets you use your motion sensors while you're using a scope, so if you're zoomed in and you still want to know who's sneaking up behind you to assassinate you, this will help you. Explosives, this makes your grenades have a little bit larger of a blast radius and helps you deal with enemy grenades coming into you. So a quick note on all these is that we really started reacting to what players wanted to bring into the battlefield and how they wanted their playstyle customized. So many of these were just created based off of our playtest feedback and what players were telling us. And then they went through many balancing passes. Ordnance priority, so this gives you more frequent ordnance drops. Stability, steadies your weapon while being struck by incoming fire. So if you start taking damage from enemies, it'll reduce the amount of knockback you get from it. Gunner, this if you love the Warthog and you're on the back of the turret all the time, or you like picking up the chain guns, this will help your weapon not overheat as much. Stealth, it makes you a little bit harder to see from Promethean vision and makes you assassinate players a little bit faster. Nemesis, so what this one will do is if you get killed and when you respawn, it'll mark the enemy who killed you for a very short period of time on the map, so you can go after him and get a nice sweet revenge medal. Or if you stole your ordnance medal, if he had stolen your ordnance, you'll get an even better one. Drop recon, this one lets you see when and where the ordnance drops are coming on the map.